Good evening. I'm Kate Kirkman, and I'd like to tell you a bit about my work with the Tennessee Centennial Exposition. I'll try to get my facts exactly right and in order, but I am 156 years old, and although I'm quite spry for my age, please forgive me if I get a bit muddled. The Women's Department of the Exposition had a mission to showcase the culture and refinement of the state's women, while showcasing also our practical and intellectual abilities. I was interested in expanding women's role beyond the purely domestic sphere while still maintaining our duties as wives and mothers. In my opening day speech, I challenged everyone listening to agree that women's work included anything and everything that may be necessary to preserve the sanctity of the home and ensure the freedom of the state. That sounded pretty good, don't you think? It certainly raised vigorous applause. But when you think about it, preserving the sanctity of the home and ensuring the freedom of the state leaves a lot open to interpretation. I left the definition vague on purpose. There were those on the Women's Board who wanted our department to push for women's suffrage. I was not convinced. The exposition gave women scope to demonstrate our economic and practical capabilities. Ours was the first building of the fair to be completed, and we raised all the necessary funds without relying on the men of the Centennial Company. We hired a woman to design our building, and oh, what a beautiful building it was. More like a home on a grand scale than like any of the other buildings at the fair. It contained, among other things, a library holding more than 3,000 volumes, a room dedicated to inventions and patents by women, a model kitchen with all the latest conveniences, and an assembly room where we held meetings, social gatherings, concerts, and speeches. Women in Tennessee were interested in all manner of causes they saw as essential. We invited speakers who espoused important, sometimes radical causes: temperance, child labor laws, higher education for women, clean sidewalks, and of course, women's suffrage. Susan B. Anthony spoke on October 26th to a packed assembly hall. It is now 100 years since passage of the amendment giving women the right to vote, and I must say I have changed my mind once again. At the time of the centennial, I was not convinced that having the vote would be good for women or for the country. I strongly believed that women could and should try to change things for the better, but I was inclined to believe those changes would best be accomplished by convincing our husbands and fathers and sons to make them, preferably while convincing them the changes were their own ideas. I now see that by stepping down from the pedestal on which we'd been placed, women everywhere have expanded our horizons and taken our rightful place among the men who run all manner of institutions. And in doing so, we have not failed, as was prophesied, to maintain nurturing homes and rear successful children. Although this centennial year proves that the work is not yet finished, you capable women and men of the 21st century have accomplished much that we of the 1890s sought to change. I'm proud of your efforts. I'm happy that I've lived long enough to see your successes, and I applaud your continuing work to ensure equal opportunity for all.